To get an ebook, we're going to begin on our home page, which is www.waterloo.lib.ia.us. And up here at the top, choose eReaders. That will take us to our eReaders page. And you'll notice we have 3 services available for checking out eBooks. And today we'll be using Cedar Falls and Waterloo Overdrive to get started. So select that one, it's the third option. Alright, to get an ebook on our eReader device, we first need to download Adobe Digital Editions software for our computer. So to do that, we'll go over here where it says Getting Started, and then just under here it says Adobe Digital Editions for eBooks. Just go ahead and click right on that. And from here you'll be able to get Adobe Digital Editions, so we'll just click on that button. And up comes this window here. I'm just going to expand that for us to see. This is the Adobe Digital Editions page. Adobe Digital Editions software, as it says here, offers an engaging way to view and manage ebooks and other digital publications. So what we need to do is go ahead and download this for our computer. So go ahead and scroll down on your page. And down here you'll have the option to install. So we'll select install. And then it asks us if we would like to continue to install, and of course we would. And it asks us again if we're sure, so yes, we are, so we'll click that. And then up comes this window. So we'll just go ahead and select next, and then install. And now the process is complete, so I'll go ahead and close that. Alright, here we have Adobe Digital Editions. This is the Setup Assistant, and we'll need to go through this one time to set up our Adobe Digital Editions account. So go ahead and select Continue. From here we are going to authorize our computer to use Adobe Digital Editions. So to do that you'll need to enter in your Adobe ID and then password. If you do not have an Adobe ID, that's okay, you're going to need to get one. So to get one, just go ahead and click Get an Adobe ID online. And this is the place that we will go to get our Adobe account. So go ahead and choose Create an Adobe account, which is right here. Okay, the process for joining Adobe is relatively simple. You'll only need to fill in the details that they need, and that would be the required fields where you see the red asterisk. So you're going to do email, password, your first and last name, and as you scroll down, just the city, the country, and your postal code. And then once you do that, down here at the bottom, they do have these checked in. You can unselect them so you will not be notified. Then just go ahead and click Continue down here at the bottom. And after registering with Adobe, you'll get this nice thank you message from them, and what you can do is just go up to the top of your screen there and click on this little red X to close your window. And now that you have registered with Adobe Digital Editions, you can go ahead and put in your Adobe ID, which is your email address, and then go ahead and put in that password that you wrote down earlier. And once you've done that, just go ahead and select Activate. And once you went ahead and activated the Adobe Digital Editions account, you are now finished. So you can go ahead and click Finished. So congratulations, you have successfully completed downloading Adobe Digital Editions, and you are now ready to get an ebook. Alright, so what we're going to do then is go on to Overdrive. So with your internet browser, just go to the Waterloo Public Library's website. And from here you can access Overdrive. Right now it's on our home page, but eventually it might move. So just go up to eReaders and scroll down to Overdrive. And here we are. This is where you'll be getting your eBooks. And over here on the left-hand side, we have new eBooks. And on the right, if you look across, we have complete list. Select complete list. And here we have our search results. It's displaying 1 of 10 out of 100. And here we have the title, the author, and the beginning of a description. So we could read more by clicking on the title. And then down here we have the option to place a hold. And then we have our formats here. I'm going to scroll down on the page. And here we have another book, Aesop's Fables. And you can see here that you have the option to add to cart. The difference between placing a hold and adding to cart. Adding to cart is when it's available to check out. Placing a hold is when somebody has it currently checked out. So if we want to go ahead and get Aesop's Fables, we'll have to choose which format we would like it in. If you look at the book above, A Year Without Autumn, you'll notice that it has 2 formats it's available in. We've got the Kindle book format and then Adobe EPUB, eBook. And then Aesop's Fables actually just has Adobe EPUB and then Adobe PDF. If you have a Kindle book, you'll be using the Kindle one to get the book. Otherwise, if you just have Adobe Digital Editions, which is what we've been working with, you can choose between the Adobe EPUB format or the Adobe PDF format. Either one will work with Adobe Digital Editions. The difference with the EPUB book is that it has reflowable text and more text options for your e-reader. The PDF preserves the page layout, so it's really going to be about which one you prefer for your e-reader, and you'll want to experiment to see which one works best for you. So what I would recommend is go ahead and just choose the Adobe EPUB ebook format and just click Add to Cart. And now we have the option to continue browsing for another book, or we can proceed to checkout. Just go ahead and proceed to checkout. And here you'll need to sign in, so select your library. And then go ahead and click to sign in again. And this is where you will enter in your library card number. And once you've logged on, you now have the option to change your lending period from 14-day to 7-day checkout if you would like. And then just go ahead and click Confirm Checkout. And then here you have the option to download. So just go ahead and click Download. And then it asks you if you want to open or save the file. You just go ahead and click Open. And now you have your book in Adobe Digital Editions. Alright, now that we have our book, we're going to work on transferring that to our e-reader. So what you'll need to do is change this view to the library view. And you can do that up here in the upper left-hand corner. Just click on the symbol, it looks like 3 books. And then go ahead and plug in your e-reader. And once you plug in your e-reader device, Adobe Digital Editions Device Setup Assistant will come up and ask to authorize your device. So just go ahead and select Authorize Device. And then it will say your device has successfully been authorized. So just go ahead and select Finished. And now we are ready to transfer our book to our device. I happen to have my Nook color connected right now, so I'll just go ahead and select Aesop's Fables. I can just hold down my click on that and then simply drag it over to my e-reader and then just drop it on. And now we can check to see if that has been transferred. So just go ahead and select your e-reader's name. So I'll select my Nook color. And you'll see here I've got my list of different books, and you'll notice that Aesop's Fables is added to my Nook color. So I am actually finished then, and what you would do then in this case is just go ahead and eject your e-reader and then search for the book in your library. If you're unable to locate it in your library, you may want to look in the general search. Just look for the title of the book that you have downloaded, and it should be on your e-reader. Thanks for joining us, and if you have any questions, just give us a call. Our number is 291-4477. Thank you.